wherein you have you inject all the code for controllers, you have definition for the service, you can do configurations for the routing, you can declare custom directives, you can have factories, filters and services. Modules is a place wherein you are going to keep all the components together, and this module is going to be hooked up to the view. Further on, from there onwards, the scope manages all the changes that take place between the model and the view and the vice versa, and they communicate. So now, let us see a simple demo. It is an HTML5 application, and it is a movie portal allowing valid users to view movies online. So I would be using Visual Studio 2012 to create the demo. Okay, I have the demo running, and it is an empty ASP.NET web application. Let us see the starting page. So in our HTML5 demo, our functionality goes like, once the user is valid, he is capable of seeing the movies list, and he can choose any movie he wants. He adds it to the watch list, and finally if he does not want to see the movie, he removes it from the watch list. So what has been done in this application is there are a list of users present. If I am a valid user, I will log in. Yes, the user is valid. And finally, then I can see a list of movies with their images, what is the movie, who is the director, what is the type, and I can add it to the watch list. And I can remove it from the watch list. So when there are no options or when there are no selections done in the watch list, I get a message that your watch list is empty, add movies to your watch list. And when there are movies added to the watch list, you see the number of movies selected. So this is the simple application that we'll see how this application has been structured into model, view, view model concept. Okay. So this is my HTML5 demo application. I have another demo project wherein now to add support to AngularJS, I have added a NuGet package called as AngularJS, and it is enhanced for HTML5 applications. So NuGet packages are official packages wherein we can get all resolve our dependencies required. Okay, so there are many packages available online for AngularJS. You have AngularJS core, which will include only the basic AngularJS scripts. You have AngularJS wherein all the scripts are included. Then you have UI Bootstrap and all. So what I have selected for my application is
sorry to interrupt.
JS.
Can you speak a little louder, please,
Yeah.
or can you come a little closer to the mic?
Yeah, you can hear me now?
Yeah, now your voice is loud and clear. Please continue.
Okay. So this is AngularJS HTML enhanced for web apps. Okay. So now I have, let us first see how to model our data. So currently I have the data folder wherein I have two JavaScript files. One is the userdb.js wherein I have an array of users. It has got the user and the password. This is the data that I will fetch to compare and validate the user. So this is the complete array of 5 users. Then I have moviesdb.js in my folder, wherein I have an array of movie objects. So there are almost 7 objects, wherein it has got an ID, name, who are the directors, actors, movie type, status, story, duration, and the image URL. So our job is, first, let us create the simple login page and let us see how can we validate the users. So this is our main.html file. It is currently empty. I have the demo application already, so I would be just pasting the code in this application and see. Okay, so if you all can see my screen clearly, you will see that at the start I have added many references. Now these references are to the scripts that are required in my application. AngularJS will initialize and provide me with all the other functions. Angular root.js will let me use the routing capabilities. Angular resource will provide me a service to fetch or use the REST APIs and fetch the data from the JavaScript files. I have 2 modules which I'll require from my application. For the complete application, I would be using an app module.js, hence I have included the reference here. Then I have a data module.js which will only do the job of fetching the data. And finally, I have my complete HTML code for displaying those 2 views, that is the login view and the HTML view. So here there is a directive which is enabling me to show those views, and that is called as the ng view. Now let us first configure how are we going to show those 2 views, that is the login view and the home view or the watch list view. Okay, so our login view is currently empty. Let us write code initially in the app module.js. So our app module.js is a module which is available to the complete application. And if you see the code, here the app module has got certain dependencies because it requires these services. So this is the way in which you write an app module. It depends on ng-root to provide the routing information. It uses ng resource because it needs to fetch data from these JSON files, and it is dependent on the data module. So currently we haven't declared the data module, but we would be doing it in future. So what is our configuration information here? It tells that I am using the route provider service. When the user clicks on home, or he uses or he appends /home to the URL, he is going to be navigated to homeview.html. Simple. And when the person clicks or he goes to the start of the application, he is going to see the login view. If nothing is typed in the URL, just redirect him to the login view. So this is a simple routing code that we have written in our module, and this is provided by the route provider service. It gets resolved because we have ng-root into our app module, and it is resolved. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are just going to write here login, and we would see this page in the browser. So currently we do not have any code on loginview.html file, and you can see that this is the main page. Okay. ng view, you have your login view. Okay. Right. Now just let us see what happens if we write /home. Currently nothing because we haven't pasted anything into the view. So we just close it and we'll check further. Okay, I have to resolve these scripts first. Okay, now we'll see again. Right. Okay, so this was our complete routing information. Now let us go to the login functionality. Now in our app module, we have a controller wherein, so this is our app module.js. Once we have written the routing information, we would be adding the login controller code, which tells us that the login controller takes in scope, it uses a service called as get user service, and it uses the location object. So before I even use the get user service, let me go to the data module.js and paste in the data module code. Okay, so this is my another module called as data module, wherein I am using the resource service, and this resource service is providing me two factory objects, get movies and get users. So get movies and get users, they are going to fetch the data of arrays from these files and provide it to our application, and that is why this gets resolved, that is data module.js. So here I am telling that I need the list of valid users. So the get users, it's a very simple syntax, gets the list of users and it is saved in the valid users variable. I will require a message to show what is the status, whether the user is valid or not, and if there is some error, show these error messages. So this is a property, a boolean property to show that section. Now how will I validate the users? I will loop through the complete list of users, check if the username is present in the list of valid users, and then I have the code to show that whether the section should be displayed on the UI or not, and if the user is not valid, just show him the message. So now just let me view it in browser and see it. Okay, if I do not have a valid user and I enter the details and I try to log in, I get a message, the username or the password is invalid. So our code of app module.js tells me that this user is not present in the valid list of users, so do not show that section. Okay, so this is our login view, wherein we have taken a form, we have written the code on ng submit, calling the function called as validate user. We are passing an object. Now we have done your two-way data binding for the username and the password. Here ng disabled is another attribute which is going to make the button valid or invalid. So depending upon whether the user information is present or not, it will be enabled. So if I just remove this name, and if you see on the screen, the login button will be disabled, but as I enter some name, the login button will be enabled. So these changes are done very easily using AngularJS. Finally, this is the ng show directive, which is bound to show error messages in our controller. This is a Boolean property. So when the form is valid and when there is no error, when it is a valid user, it will not be shown. But when it is not a valid user, this message will be shown. So now Pradnya is a valid user and I have entered the data. So when I click on login button, it goes to the next screen. That is my list of movies. So if you see in the code, I have declared $location.pathHome. Now how does this function validate user get to know that I have to navigate to the home page or the watch list page? That is because we are using a service called as location provider provided by the AngularJS function. So location.path will redirect you or allow you allow your application to navigate to the watch list view. So this is how our app module dot controller, that is the login controller, is complete. Now every time whenever we declare a module, we do the configuration, we use a controller, it is very important that on the main page you have this app module declared. This app module or ng app is going to initialize or bootstrap your elements and configurations. Now when you go to the next view, in the next view the functionality was working because we had bound the parent element to the login controller object, which is bound to the ng controller directory. So this is going to make all the functions and the objects available through scope to our login page. Okay, so this was pretty simple, wherein in our app module.js you have a scope message. So first you use the get users service to get the valid set of users, then you validate the user whether he is valid or not, and if he is valid, then redirect him to the home page or otherwise show an error message. So this was how AngularJS handles the two-way data binding as well as does validation as well as shows error messages. So now this is the next page that we would be designing. Here there are two functionalities. I am showing a list of movies along with images, and I am also adding movies to my watch list. At the same time, there is another functionality which shows that if there are no movies in the my watch list, it will show a message that your watch list is empty. Add movies to your watch list. So how is this possible? Let us go to the code. So this is my home view.html, and let me go again to the app module and let me see my movies controller. I will do one thing. I will show you all the code out here. So in my movies controller, I am using the scope object and I'm using the get movies factory method. So get movies factory object is going to give us all the sets of movies. If you see here in data model.cs, it is using the resource object and doing and interacting with the REST APIs and getting the data from the movies.json. So once I get all the data, I am storing it in a variable called as movies data variable. Then I want to add another property to the complete array of movies. So I did not have a variable called isAdded. I want to check whether once a person selects a movie, can he see it in the watch list or not. So AngularJS provides the concept of extend. I want to add this isAdded property to my list of arrays. That is why this section of code, I will iterate through the complete array of objects, and to every object I would be adding a property called as isAdded using the angular.extend function. So now I have an array of movies with every object also having another property called as isAdded. So when is isAdded set to true, so whenever the person clicks on add to watch list, that time isAdded is set to true, and when it is removed, it is set to false. It's as simple as that. I have another array again which is empty. I need a message or a string, so I have taken another variable called as show empty message. This message would be telling us whether there are movies in the watch list or not. If they are not, please add to the watch list. Then I need some function to, if you see this functionality wherein I click on the plus button and a movie gets added. Okay, I click on another plus button, another movie gets added. This functionality is the toggle checked functionality. So what does it do? Every object in the array has got an index. This index gets passed to this function. Then I will iterate through the array with the help of the index and set the isAdded property to true. I will push this object into the new array, that is the checked array, and finally make its isAdded equal to true. That is why if you see in the browser, when I click on plus object, you will see these elements added. And when I click on minus, what happens is from the checked array, the isAdded property is set to false, and I remove the object from the watch list. Now there is a message which keeps on informing me whether my watch list is empty or not. How is it done? AngularJS provides a nice functionality called as watch. So I want my scope to be notified when the collection changes, that is when the checked collection changes. So what I do is whenever an object or is pushed to the checked array, that time I do a check that if the checked dot length is equal to 0, just notify the user that your watch list is empty. But if there are objects, do not notify the user. So if you see in my application, when I click on remove, automatically I get this message. It is because of this watch function. So simple enough. Let us see how have we bound this controller to the home view.html. So the first thing, we want to see a complete list of movies. Okay, and the ng controller directive at the start of the parent element is going to do the binding and provide the scope to the complete HTML in homeview.html. So this is our movies controller. Now we had got all the data from the get movies factory object, and it is stored in the movie object as an array. So we are using ng repeat directive to iterate through every object and show the image, show the movie name, the director, the movie type, and also a button, and the button is bound to the toggle checked method in our controller, which is taking the index of the object. So this is how we pass the parameters to a function. And if you see the image binding, again we have used an NGSRC, because NGSRC is going to actually bind the image with the relative URL. Not the SRC does not work here. Then if you see the button, we are bounding ng-click directive to the toggle checked function. So this is very clear. So our complete movie list, this above complete movie list, we are writing just the HTML code, and the ng repeat directive is allowing us to iterate over every object in the movie array and show the items. Now let us see how do we get to know whether an item is added or not. I told you that AngularJS also provides expressions, and all these expressions are evaluated against this context. So if you see very clearly here, this is movies selected option that you see out here currently in the application, and now it is 3. So if I remove 2 items, you will see it as 1. That is because we have used an expression. How? So if you see the below code, I have another table which is bound to the checked object. Now checked object was an empty array initially, but once we add items from the movie object into the checked object, the checked array gets filled up. So all the items are seen here: movie name, duration, and remove checked. So what I am telling this section is that whatever number of items are checked, check whether their is added property is true and find those objects and give me their count. So this expression is using a filter. It's going to evaluate the check object. It will iterate through internally and check whether the is added property is true or not, and it is going to show the length. And this complete expression is evaluated because the scope object is available across the HTML because of the movies controller function. And finally, there is a show empty message which I have written in my app model.js. The logic is there. I have used the watch functionality, which shows that if the checked length is 0, then your watch list is empty or it is null. Okay. So, and finally, this is my ng repeat directive, again used for iterating over the checked item. I am displaying the movie name, the duration, and when I click on the button, the ng-click directive binds to the remove checked function. It is using the $index as the parameter, and this gets again passed to our function in the controller, and when the index is selected, it is removed. So this is how we made our movies controller bind to the HTML view. It was able to get the movies, it was able to add items to the checklist, remove items from the checklist, and even watch or notify that, okay, when an array is changed, what action should I take? So there is the watch service available. So this is our application. Let me go through it again. I go back to my login page. I have my username as, say, if I just write anything, right now you can see that the login button is disabled because it is bound to a directive and it is checking the validity of the form. When I enter the password, it becomes valid, but we need to check whether the user is valid or not. We click on login. The user is not valid, and hence a an error message is displayed. So let us write the correct name and click on login. So once we write the correct name and click on login, we have to go, or we go to the next page. You see here a list of movies and you add to the watch list. So initially you see an empty message telling that there are no movies in your watch list. Once you add the movies, you see those 2 movies added. You click on minus button and finally the movies get deleted. So all this functionality very beautifully in HTML5 because of AngularJS. What we did is that we took the main page .html, it is acting as the shell project. We used all the references required for our application, that is angular.js, the root Angular resource. All these are required for routing. One is used for resolving the dependencies of the resource. Then we had created 2 modules. One module is available application wide, and one module only did the job of getting the data from these JSON files. The other provided the CSS. So in our main .html5, the main directive which is supplying or showing the views is the ngView directive. Because of ngView directive, we were able to load the home view and the login view. Now let us see the app module.js. So our app module.js has got information for our config section, which shows or wherein we write and use the root provider service to navigate to the home page and the login page. If nothing is there appended to the URL, just move on to the login page. Then we have our movies controller object, wherein we get the set of movies, we add another property is added. Then we have an empty array and an empty message to add it to the bind it to the checklist. We have 2 functions to check whether the item is added to the checklist or the item is removed from the checklist, and we keep a watch, and we use the watch service to check whether our checked array has got items or not, and display the message to the user. So this was our movies controller, which is bound to the homeview.html. Our login controller again uses the get users factory object and fetches the data into the valid users. It has got a scope message, and wherein it shows that username is valid or not. It is using a property to hide and show that section. It has got a function called as validate user. It is using an object as the parameter. So this complete set of logic identifies whether the user is valid or not, and it displays the message. So in our login view.html, our parent element is bound to the login controller. So we have a form control, and the ng submit directive is bound to the validate user function. And this is how it is. We do the binding. ng model enables two-way data binding. So any name entered in username and password gets stored in the user info object, and this becomes available to the validate user function. So when the person clicks on submit button or the login button, it will check whether these 2 elements
Hi Pradnya, can I
are.
hear me?
So in the home view, we have 2 tables and 2. Yeah, sure. Hello?
Yes, sorry, your voice is coming and going. Can you please check your audio setting at your end?
Yeah, so we have two tables. Hello?
Yes, we are having a little audio problem. Uh, can you please check the audio setting
Okay.
at your end?
Can you hear me right now?
Yes, you're audible, but sometimes your voice is just disappearing. So please do keep a
Okay.
check on that.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so sorry for the disturbance. There is some technical problem. So there it is. Here we are again, wherein we have the movies, the final home view.html with the movies list, which is bound to the movie object, the array object, and then finally we have the checked array, which is bound to another table. And finally, we show that if the items are added to the watch list, then show the number of items, else show the message. So this was how we developed our HTML5 application in AngularJS. And let me just go through the benefits and let us just have a recap of how AngularJS allows us to build HTML5 applications in MVVM style. So the templates, they serve as the views, and they consist of HTML, CSS, and Angular directives. Then you have the scope, wherein the view model, um, that role is played by the scope object, and it refers to the complete application model. It is responsible for two-way data binding. It does the complete, it provides context for the expressions to get evaluated. Now all the data functionality is encapsulated in factories, providers, services, and values. Then we have modules, wherein the modules act as containers for all the elements, the controllers, the uh, directives, the filters, custom filters, and the services. So finally, we can use AngularJS to build an HTML5 applications in the MVC pattern. But the complete support of two-way data binding is provided by the MVVM concept, which is supported by the scope object, and that helps us to create modular applications with a separate UI, and it makes the application dynamic. So these are the major references. You have to log on to angularjs.org to get started, and some of the real good references to start with. That is all I have in the presentation.